Hi friends, it's Missy Shipman. I'm so delighted to be here this month again to share with you some card making tips and tricks as a guest of the Baldwinsville Public Library. We've been meeting for many years on the second Thursday evening of every month for almost 15 years. And during the pandemic time, we've been able to meet on Facebook Live. So thank you for being a part of things, taking part either watching live or watching the replay. And I'm going to go ahead and share with you what we'll be working on tonight. If you are with me live, I'd love for you to comment. We do have a raffle each month. I select a comment from the comments, and that person will receive something fun. Sometimes it's stamps, sometimes it's card parts. Last month, Connie was our lucky comment winner and got a container of my favorite glue, the Tombow mono adhesive glue. So I'm hoping I'm in the right place. I see some people watching, but I'm watching for comments. It looks like I'm sideways tonight so I'm going to do a little shifting for us in hopes that I can get it corrected. So hang with me while I work on that. I think the only way we're going to be successful tonight is doing it as a sideways filming. So there's just a little lag, and I'm watching to see that it's going to be correct on the camera for you as it gets turned. And I apologize, it's a portrait view now instead of a landscape piece. Is that correct? Let's see. Yes, it looks like you're able to see. I apologize, it's a portrait view. I'm having some technical trouble getting it to be my full landscape view tonight, but this will work. We're going to start off with, I'll show you the projects that we're going to be working on tonight. And I see some people watching. Welcome. Mickey and Jean and Sue is watching. Welcome. So I can see your comments. And Jennifer and Karen are here. Thank you. Lee is watching. So welcome, everybody. Again, my name is Missy Shipman. I'm a local artisan here in the Baldwinsville area, and I'm so happy to be partnering once again with the Baldwinsville Public Library. Julia is my contact there and my good friend, and makes it possible for me to partner with you each month. So if you are one of the 20 people who received a complimentary kit reserved and picked it up from the library, you can work along with me tonight, stamp along with me. If you didn't receive a kit, I hope that you will have fun using supplies from your stash to recreate these projects with your own twist, or contact me if you need help with ordering supplies. The kit that you received has 2 cards, which are these layouts, but they'll be in different colors. So you may have had a daffodil and a purple posy card, or you might have a lovely lipstick and a purple posy card. The colors will vary, but you'll have 2 designs, and one of them is this rectangle landscape opening card. And the other is a fun fold with just a little bit of a special flip fold here to highlight some of the designer series paper and my favorite ribbon. Okay, so in your kit, again, you've got the materials for those 2 cards, and then you also have a 3rd card, which will be one of 3 different designs, and we'll complete that in a little bit too. You can just set that one aside. The one you'll want to start with is the one that has the square, the 4 rectangles, and it has this special flax ribbon in it. So that might be the best way for you to locate. Let's see if I can get my lighting back on there. In your kit, which one I'm talking about. It's the one that will have the card with the cardstock sticking out the top, the larger piece of the cardstock. Okay, so that piece I'm going to set aside some of my other little notes to share with you, and we will work with the purple posy card. And although yours could be a different color, so it's either going to be lovely lipstick, purple posy, or daffodil delight, but it's the one that came in the envelope where the cardstock piece is sticking out from the top. Okay, welcome friends. I'm so glad you're watching tonight. So what we're going to do is fold this cardstock in half, and I'll do that. Looks like we've got a little bit of a shadow because I had to turn the camera funny. So let's see if, not sure I'm gonna be able to avoid that, but we'll try. Okay. And so I'm gonna use my bone folder to just crease that fold. You can use a spoon, you can use your fingers and thumbs to crease, there we are. You can use your, or you can use the bone folder, and that just makes a nice crease on the fold here. So we'll set that part aside. We've got our card base. And in my case, I'm using the Purple Posy, but again, you could have Lovely Lipstick or Daffodil Delight, all happy springtime colors. The daffodils are starting to come up at our house. There's a section in my front garden where they're almost an inch up from the soil. And I'll be watching those each day. I love the daffodils and some other bulbs that we have planted in the front that are fun to look forward to. So you'll need your piece of petal pink, and everybody has the same color of that, so that will be easy to work with. We're gonna adhere this to our card base, and I'm using the Tombow multi-purpose adhesive tonight. Welcome people joining in. I'm glad you're here. If you have questions, please put them right in the comments for me. If questions or comments, anything that I can answer about what we're using or the dimensions and things, I'll post on my Facebook group, Missy's Glad Heart Studio. So if you would like to recreate these cards with your own supplies, you'll be able to do that. I'll get those posted by tomorrow for you, so you'll have that information. This is fun designer series paper that's now retired, but it's got these fabulous floral designs. And we're just going to make a pattern with the 4 pieces. It's almost like a window pane pattern, the 4 pieces. And if you wanted, you could flip them and make different designs. This paper has some really cool clothing and fashion accessories on one side. So it depending on how the paper is cut, it wouldn't be as effective flipping it upside down. So in this case, I'm using just the bright floral pieces, but you can use supplies that you have, mix and match. So we have a window pane effect right here. All right, and we have this flax ribbon, and this is wonderful. It's really, you can cut it apart and use it in single strands. We're going to use it today just as an accent across the card. So what I'll do is, to make the swallowtail edge, you can see, let me see if on camera, I'm not sure how easy it is to see here, where I've made kind of a banner end, or we call it sometimes a swallowtail end. And one trick to do that is to fold the flax in half and then cut a triangle shape away. So now I have this swallowtail or pennant end to my ribbon. Okay, welcome everybody watching. Thanks for making comments, letting me know you're here. And comments, you'll be entered into the comment raffle. So one person will receive a gift related to tonight's class. And it also helps me a lot when I have comments or hearts or likes or any of that to learn what you're interested in and what your questions are. So the adhesive again that I'm using here is the Tombow multi-purpose glue. You can use glue dots, you could use seal or another tear and tape or a different adhesive of your choice. The Tombow multi-purpose glue, one of the reasons I love it so much is because it will, it gives me a little wiggle room if I need to adjust or shift things, okay? I'm hoping the volume's okay tonight. Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, so the next piece that we'll use, if I can find it from my collection, is this punched out piece. Now I punched them for you so you'd have them for the class, and if they might be in your envelope or in another envelope, hopefully they're in your kit. You'll see it's a vellum scallop punch. And then this is the punch, the pretty label punch, or I'm sorry, the darling label punch is what it's called. And it's a square with these 4 angled pieces to it. And it's just kind of a dressed up shape for stamping, and we are going to use the stamp that came in your stamp set. Now there's a variety of stamps in the set, so you have one of the 6 different images, and I'll show you these. There's hello, a beautiful thanks, thinking of you, happy birthday friend, best wishes, and congratulations rock star. So if you each received one in your kit, and if you're interested in the whole set, I'll be telling you about an offer I have where you can receive the full stamp set and the punch and a block and some ink spots. So I'll be telling you about that in a little while, but I'm going to go ahead. I love the thinking of you. Thinking of you is a greeting that you can use all year round for any occasion. It can be a joyful expression. It can be an expression of sympathy. It really fits all occasions. And I love the combination of fonts on this one. The thinking is a nice bold capital letter font, and then we have the scripty of you. So it's I think a really pretty image. All right, we've put our flax ribbon there in place, and now we have we're going to put the vellum, scallop, and the white punched shape together. So again, I'll just use some of my Tombow, and my friend Meg says if you can see it, then that's enough glue. A little goes a long way. I also like to tease that it's not a linguine or a worm. It's a very narrow angel hair piece, if you want to think about it as a pasta analogy. Now what we'll do is to add just a little bit of dimension to this, we can add Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of the vellum to pop it up around the flax ribbon. Let me go in, hold it up a little so you can see that. So this part is going to go on top, but I'm going to lift it up with a dimensional so it creates a tiny bit of shadow. And what I'll do is make sure that I put my dimensional pieces behind the white part so that they don't show behind the vellum. Okay, so here is this. Thinking of you, all right? Now, if you'll notice, there's something added on my sample here. A little bit of bling. You know that I love to have bling and accents. So this is, we're going to add some tiny gems to our card. Now, in your kit, remember you had the 2 cards, one with the ribbon hanging out and one that the cardstock was hanging out of. I can't remember now if I put your gems just in one of them to share or some in each. So if they aren't in this first kit, dig into the other envelope so that you can find them. Okay, now a question Connie asked about the window pane pieces touching each other, or is there a gap? There's just a small gap, Connie, and it's not really obvious with this lighter colored cardstock. If I used a darker color instead of this petal pink, let's say I used a black piece of cardstock, here's a little sample here, then that window pane effect would be more dramatic. I'll just show you. If I had a darker cardstock in between, whatever space was here would be bolder. Okay, it's a little more subtle with this color. You can't see the separation as much, but there is a little bit of window pane, a little bit of the petal pink showing between the 4 squares and around the edge as a matte. That was a great question. Okay. So what we're going to do now is add these gems to the card, and they all coordinate in colors. I'm going to go ahead and use some blue ones around my card here. I'm going to pick up, those hints of blue that are in the designer series paper. I'm going to try something and see if I can zoom in a little bit on the camera tonight so that you can see a little more closely. There we are. So I'm simply adding those gems to the 4 corners where the scallop shape is, and it just adds a little more dimension and texture to things. Okay, now on the inside of my card, this purple posy is a light color, so you wouldn't be required to have a piece of the white cardstock inside. This will show up even with a dark color ink would show up just fine, but I do like the polished look that you get when you have a liner inside the card. So let's go ahead and put this inside, and I'll show you how we can dress it up just a little bit too. All right, so there's my inside. But when I make my envelope, we're going to be left with a small piece, a little angled strip that we can put inside the card, just to give it a little color inside. We could also stamp another greeting or obviously write a message. But for our envelope flap, we'll go ahead and add some glue to the flap of the envelope, okay? So I'm going to just use my Tombow glue again. Just a little goes a long way. A thread of the glue, and put my paper there that coordinates. This one is a nice stripe with the purple posy color. And then using my paper snips, I can cut around this envelope using the envelope as my guide, the flap there, so that I'm just trimming off the extra paper. And I'm going to save it to show you just a minute how we can use that inside the card. There. I love how adding designer series paper to the flap of a project, of an envelope, really gives you a sneak peek of a theme or color that will be inside. And just when that comes through the mail, it's really delightful. So now I have this strip of matching designer series paper that I can put on the inside of my card. So I'm just going to trim this a little bit, and I want to match it up with that white. So use my snips. I'm just eyeballing. You could certainly measure it. That paper dimension is 5 1/4 inches. And I'm going to again use my Tombow glue. Just a little thread of glue. And I'll put that across the top here, leaving a white banner. And that's just kind of adding, looks sort of like a scallop or a balcony or an entrance to add some color to the inside of the card. So there's my first one, my Thinking of You. And here it is with the lovely lipstick and with the Daffodil Delight. So you'll have to tell me which one is your favorite of these colors. Everybody has an assortment, but these are lovely. That Purple Posy, Daffodil Delight, and Lovely Lipstick. So you can see those. Now the next one we make, we'll go ahead and use the other kit, and this kit has the this beautiful silver-edged satin ribbon. That's the card that we'll work on next. Again, in your kit, it might be a different color than mine, but the pieces are cut the same. Okay, just move that slightly so you can see. And these pieces are similar to, they're the same products, but in the cutting dimensions are not too different. I do have this beautiful ribbon and 2 pieces of the designer series paper. And Angela, thank you. The Purple Posy is your favorite. I think it's soft and feminine too. It's a really lovely color. And yet when it's paired with the stripes, it can be, let me find that one again. This design with the stripes, it can be more masculine as well. And I love these designs. Thank you, Angela, for tuning in tonight. We're going to save this larger piece for our envelope flap. We'll create that the same way we did for the first card. And then we will do just a little bit of folding. You can set aside your punched piece ready to stamp. I think I included 4 for you, so we're making 3 cards, but you have an extra. And again, if you're interested in adding the stamp set and the punch to your collection, I'll be telling you about that to benefit one of my favorite charities, Aaron's Angels. I'm offering some special kits. So I'll tell you about that, but let's go ahead and work on this card next. So what you'll do, it's already pre-scored, and I folded it at the 5 1/2, and now we're going to fold it back on this score line here. So you'll fold it so that it's folding back onto the front of the card. You can use your bone folder or a spoon or your finger and thumb to make that crease. And I'm going to secure this down to the front using dimensionals because I don't want it to look like it's flat, like it's this cut off, like I just cut this piece off. I actually want there to be this texture of another piece of cardstock. You could certainly design the card where you cut off part of the front, and that would be a different kind of fun fold. I've really been enjoying coming up with simple fun folds to share that don't require a lot of extra layers, so that you can easily recreate these at home with items and supplies that you have. So this one, you'll see how the stripes will be side by side, but one has a little added texture here. You can tell that it's popped up a little bit. If you don't have dimensionals, you can just glue it. It will still show this edge, and it will have dimension. All right, so we'll use our Tombow. Get it going here. There we are. Little goes a long way. We'll glue it onto the paper. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer your questions. There we are. This lovely lipstick is now a retired color. Stampin' Up! Has 5 colors each year that stay with us for just 2 years. They're called in colors. And I like to think of them sort of as Pottery Barn colors. You know, they're like popular and stylish colors in home decor or in fashion. And they don't stay with us though, because they're truly a trendy color. So right now our lovely lipstick has retired, but we have a very similar pink called Melon Mambo. So if you like that bold, bright pink, you would also be happy with our Melon Mambo card. Now, I did the bow while I was talking, so you may not have seen. I'm going to do it again because I know we always get a lot of questions about tying bows. So let me go ahead and show you. I'm going to cross over, and what I like to do is make it a plus sign here. So I have the ribbon being pulled tightly to the left and right. And I'm going to use one finger to kind of not secure that there. And then I'm going to make a loop and around and pull my other loop through. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. Bows take time to get comfortable, and lots of times I'll do it and then I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do that one again. I always joke that even though I have boys and we've never done hair bows at our house, I've tied a lot of bows on with my card making. So I'm gonna just trim that with the paper snips. And this ribbon is luscious. It's a satin white ribbon with the silver accented. It's just beautiful. We also have it in a very vanilla with the gold. And something that's fun about this ribbon is you can dye it different colors using your ink pads or the refill inks or markers that we have. So it's really versatile. If you invest in a white or a vanilla ribbon, then you can really customize it to fit and to work with any of your projects. And don't worry if as you're working along tonight, you don't have to keep up with my pace, because this will be made as a recording for you, and then you can then you'll be able to pause it, to stop it, to work on it, to rewind it, replay. So don't worry. I know that my pace is faster while I'm recording so that we have time to share everything on the evening. The ribbon does go around just the front of the card, and I have it just to the left of the folded over piece. So it's kind of in the center of the card, and you can see it from the inside. And it just adds such a very pretty, pretty design. So it's not serving a function of holding anything closed. It's just a fashion statement on your card. It does tie very easily, Mickey. It's a lovely, forgiving ribbon. It's my favorite. So let's see what we'll add next. Let me look at our samples here, because again, you might be working with the daffodil or the posy or the lovely lipstick. But what we want to do now is add that element similar to the way we added it to our first card. We're going to start with our vellum circle. That's the Scallop Circle. It looks like a first prize ribbon medallion, I think, the way it's got the pointy edges on it. And this piece we're actually, I love this ribbon so much I don't want to cover it up. So I'm going to place the vellum underneath the ribbon. But I need to anchor it with a little bit of glue. Just put a little in the Tombow there and tuck it under so that it will be underneath the ribbon. okay? And then my piece, once we stamp it, we'll put it on top, and that way you can still see more of that really pretty ribbon. And that's a way to compare in our two designs tonight. This one, the vellum was on top of the flax ribbon. You might experiment and make it so that the more of the flax ribbon shows. It's really up to you as you put your things together. For this design, I liked for the ribbon to be kind of be sandwiched inside the vellum and the punched element. So let's go ahead and add a greeting to this one. This one I'll make the hello. Hello is another super versatile greeting that you can use as a thank you, as a thinking of you. Again, it can be for joyful or for sharing sorrow and sympathy. There's our hello. And what we want to do is now pop this up, because I love dimensionals. I love that, how it gives a depth to things. You could, if you don't have dimensionals, you can anchor this right down flat, and it will still really highlight the pretty ribbon underneath. But I'll go ahead and add a few dimensionals. This is just the edges of my leftover dimensional pieces. I'm going to put them kind of one side by side so that it'll go around the ribbon, but it's okay if it touches and secures the ribbon too, because this is not a ribbon that you would untie like a present. It's just to look pretty on the card. You don't have to untie it in order to open it. Okay, so what are we missing, friends? Remember, from each card, like before, we're going to add some bling, and I especially love the bling when we pair it with this ribbon that has the silver. It's just a lovely shine. So here I have some pink ones. I think I'll use my pink jewels in the corners. See if I can find more someplace. Or I might mix up my colors tonight. Oh, I think they're right here. Yep. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you'll have a piece of white that is ready. Looks like I zoomed in a little too much there, friends. I'm not sure. I want to be sure you can see as I'm working. This white piece is not quite square, almost square, but that's going to go inside the card here. So you want to have, before you glue it down, you can see how I want it to be the same height as this floral piece. So I'm going to turn it and make sure when I glue it down that that height is the same. It's a 4-inch. So my paper is not quite square, it's a rectangle. I'm going to take my Tombow adhesive and secure that. So again, there's some space between all around it as a mat. And that's going to just hide inside, so I have a nice spot to write on. And again, these colors are light enough. If you used a dark pen, the writing would show up. But by putting your white layer inside or a vanilla layer inside, I think it does dress up your card, gives it a little more weight, and makes it more personalized. So then it will be ready for you to write a note or a favorite scripture or verse inside, add a photo, whatever, however you would like to share this card. This is one that will stay on your friend's mantle for a long time. It's a really happy, special design, fold. I think it's engaging. So again, we have, I'll put the 3 here, the daffodil, the posy, and the lipstick. And each opens up. Each has the fun little dazzle of the jewels. And those are pretty. So hopefully you've had fun making those. Let's finish up by doing the envelope for the posy card, or for the lipstick card. Same steps that we did before. We're going to add Tombow to the flap. You don't want to put it on the paper, because remember, we're going to cut some of the edges off of the paper. So you want to put it on your smaller surface, which is the flap. And that way it will adhere and the glue won't be sticky around here. So we can cut it away with our paper snips. Does anybody have any questions wrapping up these two cards that use those bright, cheerful colors? Happy to answer any questions, and I love hearing your comments, seeing your comments. And I want to update you that next month we will have the Zoom option, as well as it will stream to the Facebook Live, but we will have the Zoom option. So when you pick up your kit from the library, you'll get the Zoom information for the sign-in, the meeting identification code, and the passcode, so that you're going to be able to join us live on Zoom. And that way you can show me your projects, you can show me, and you can actually talk if you have questions instead of just commenting. So if you're interested, if you don't want to do Zoom, you don't have to. You can still watch us on the Facebook Live because it will be streaming. But if you'd like to be a little bit more connected during the time of our class, then I would love for you to participate through Zoom. So that will begin with our April class. All right, so the next thing I want to tell you about is just share with you a little bit about Aaron's Angels. Aaron's Angels is a wonderful organization based in Phoenix, our neighbor to the north. And what Aaron's Angels does is provide food for children with food insecurity. So they have a backpack program and a food pantry. The backpack program allows children to go home each Friday from school with a pack of food, a backpack full of food. So peanut butter and granola bars and cereal and other non-perishable items can be sent home each week for the kids. And there's a program through the summer. There's lots of ways that you can support Aaron's Angels, and you can volunteer. You can, when you order things on Amazon Smile, Amazon.com, there's a way to connect Aaron's Angels to your account so that they receive, at no cost to you, they receive money from Amazon. And what I'm doing, this is my birthday month, March, and so I'm having a special event in March for Aaron's Angels. And in addition to that, I have a special offer for you as my library guest tonight. So this is a kit that comes in this fun tin. It's really big. And inside the tin is the punch that I was using tonight and to prepare for your cards. Also the full stamp set, the set of 6 images. 2 ink spots, so the Night of Navy and Grapefruit Grove, and a clear block. All comes in this fun kit, and it's $30. And when you purchase this, $5 I'll donate to Aaron's Angels. So I've already raised $275 with the help of many people this month, and I'd love to increase that. And by selling 5 of these kits, I'd have another $25 to help me donate $300 to Aaron's Angels. So in addition to the tin, you can also receive a kit that will make more cards. And they use the same papers as our, that we use tonight. And they're beautiful floral cards. And so you'll see how you're using your new punch and your new stamp set to create these. Set of 4 cards along with the supplies from the tin. So I do have just 5. If you're interested, let me know. It's $30, and again, $5 goes to Aaron's Angels. If you are affiliated with an organization, or you're a fan of an organization in our Central New York that you would like to partner with me to support, I would love to talk with you about doing some kind of fundraiser. And it's something that I love to do as part of a service in my business. So, yes, Julia's asking me if my phone is on the upright, and it's because when I started the video tonight, I could not get my camera to turn properly. So I know it's a little awkward. Hopefully it's the right way up, but it is a more narrow view tonight, and I apologize for that. So we've created our 2 cards using the colorful cardstock. What we'll do next is complete. There's one in your kit of these 3 different cards. So I'm going to put all 3 together, and the one that you have, you can put together. And yay, Jennifer has a March birthday too. Mine is the 21st. Jennifer, what day is your birthday in March? You can let me know. And if anybody else has a March birthday, chime right in. That's fun to hear. Okay, so this one has a silver edge to it. It's a really cool cardstock or piece of card base. I'm going to use my bone folder to just crease that fold and make it really solid. And then this one is a landscape card because I can tell that my flowers have stems and they orient. I want them to grow up toward heaven rather than being on their side. It doesn't look too awkward on its side, but I like them looking as if they're growing up. Oh, March 1st, so you've had your birthday already. I hope you'll celebrate all month, Jennifer. So this paper, we're going to adhere to the card base, and you'll see it will just leave a really pretty shiny silver border. Okay. And Connie, yes, she loves Aaron's Angels. Connie is a volunteer at Aaron's Angels, and I believe a member of their board. She's a wonderful supporter of the program. And I feel proud to be a part as play a small part in helping to feed the future of Central New York through Aaron's Angels donations. So this is you're going to do basically the same piece, whichever card base you have, but I'll go ahead and complete one, and then we'll move on to another one. So this particular one has a strip of yellow cardstock, the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the punch in an interesting way to make a different kind of tail or a different kind of pennant shape, just for fun. Looks a little bit like Batman if you hold it like that. It's just going to make a little flourish here. So when you invest in a punch, you'll see there's lots of different ways that you can use it in addition to the way that it's originally designed. So I'll take my yellow piece, my Daffodil Delight, and lay that. And I have a navy blue circle. Put that there. And then I'm going to finish up with my punched element. And let's do this time a happy birthday one, okay? Some of you have the happy birthday image, happy birthday friend. I'll take my Mossy Meadow, and I know now you have two greens, right? We had a bolder green, Call Me Clover last time, and then this time it's Mossy Meadow. So green is my favorite color, and you'll notice these greens are quite different from one another, so hopefully they'll be welcome in your collection, along with the real red if you were a part of our December class. And I know a lot of you like purple, so I'm working on being able to have purple at some point in our kits. Next month we won't have ink, but we will have a cool embellishment called washi tape. And this is sort of gold stripe washi tape. And this will be in the April kit, just as a little sneak peek for you. So my happy birthday friend, I'm going to pop up with dimensionals. There we are. Yes, and Connie was also noticing the different designs on the paper. And that's what's fun, is when you have designer series paper, you get to choose how you put it together. And some card designs allow you to fold the paper so you can see both sides. But Connie, if this is the one that you received, you can put the handwriting side. I already glued it down, so I can't show people now what it looked like, but you'll notice each of these has a different design. The other two have a pretty music design on the back. But all of our designer series paper are double-sided, so you do get beauty on both sides. So there's our happy birthday, the first one with the wildflowers. All right. Next, let's take a look at this one. If you have this one in your kit, you'll notice that it has a little piece of ribbon as well. So we'll use that creatively, but otherwise similar elements. I'm going to fold and crease with my bone folder, my card base. I'll adhere this, and the music side is really pretty, but I like that on this other side, it's really already shaped and ready to be a card front. Without a lot of effort, I have a beautiful base. I love the music and the writing too, Diana. It's so lovely. Isn't that pretty? It's very sort of a pretty vintage look. So I'm going to trim the, to make an angled edge of the ribbon. And I have this little piece of the coordinating Rococo Rose paper. We could put that, I almost just like the ribbon on its own in this one. You can fiddle around if you like. I think I'll use the ribbon the way we did with our Flax Ribbon card, where it went across, and then that on top. I think I'm going to save this for another project. It's up to you when you get your pieces and parts, how you like to put them together. So yes, Connie, I do cut all the pieces for you. Our cardstock comes in 8.5 by 11. And our designer series paper, most of it is in 12 by 12 or 6 by 6. And so, you know, I start with a large piece of cardstock. Here's a pack right here of our Granny Apple Green. You know I love green, and it's 8.5 by 11. Comes 24 sheets in a package, and so that's how I start. And I'll cut a piece in half, and when I cut a piece in half, that makes 2 card bases. So I'll score and fold, and so from each piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, I can have 2 cards. Now our designer series paper that comes in 12 by 12 or 6 by 6, I can then cut to be whatever size pieces I want for the project. And then I love our punches and our die cut machines so that I'm able to do a lot of things quickly. Punches allow me to do to create kits more quickly than if I had to fussy cut things. And so I really love the shortcut when I'm making multiples of using punches or using the die cut machine. See, the multi-purpose glue gave me a little bit of wiggle room here so I could move it over more to the left on my card. So Diane, terrific. I'm interested that you are interested in the stamp kit. It's the price on this tin, because it's part of my fundraiser for Aaron's Angel, it's $30. It includes the tin and a card kit. And then inside the tin, of course, are all the good things like I'm using tonight. The punch, the inks, the block, and the punch. So these are just a special offer to promote my fundraising for Aaron's Angels. So that would be $30, and $5 would be donated to Aaron's Angels. So I'll save one for you, Diana, and I will message you so we can connect. I live right in Beeville, and we can do a porch pickup. I'd be happy to meet you and or have you stop here, and that would be terrific. So this one, let's see, let's pull out the Thinking of You. Remember I said how much I use Thinking of You on projects because it is a very versatile greeting. Here we are. If you're interested in other products that I show, you're welcome to visit my Missy's Glad Heart Studio Facebook page, and on there you'll get information about my website where you can purchase. I love to share my supplies, so sometimes people, I loan things to people if it's something that's retired or that I can't find for you, but I am happy to share what I have, my techniques, and also my products, so you can connect with me. And I know that we do have a limited number of kits. I'm so grateful to the library for providing the funds so that we can offer complimentary kits each month, and we have been selling out of those. So if you do try to register and it's filled, but you'd like materials, you can reach out to me, and oftentimes I have similar materials that you can purchase. It won't be the same as the kit from the library, but it could be similar products. So here's a Thinking of You. So I have my happy birthday friend and my Thinking of You. And I'm not worrying now about adding anything to these envelopes. They already have that really beautiful silver metallic trim. Of course, you could stamp on the corner of the envelope. What I do sometimes, I'll demonstrate that, is just add a little greeting to the corner of an envelope so that when it's addressed, and I have my return address here and the address of the recipient and the postage stamp, it just gives another little personalization. So there's a thinking of you. Happy birthday. And we'll finish with this third one. This one is the daisy ring. There we are. So same thing as we did before. We'll go ahead and put our Tombow, a light application of the glue onto the front of the card base. And I'll fold and I can score that. It's been scored, but I can crease it. That's beautiful, isn't it? It looks like spring is coming. And I have some pieces to play with here. I've got my yellow, my Daffodil Delight, my vellum. And in this time, I think I might do another trick for a swallowtail. Remember when it was the ribbon, that was very easy to fold in half, the flax ribbon, and I folded and then cut a triangle. In this case, I'm gonna cut a little snip into the middle, and then I'm gonna cut from the corner to that middle cut, and the other corner to the middle cut. So if I take my time, I can usually do that pretty evenly. But remember, this is just paper and ink. Our projects are handmade with love, so you shouldn't have any stress or pressure on yourself to make them perfectly. If we wanted them all to be the same, we could buy them at the store. But it's much more fun to make them handmade with love. There, I like that. So I've got my vellum, and maybe I'll put the vellum right on top. Actually, this is another trick. When your paper is too short, you can cut it and stretch it out, because this piece is going to cover it up. See, like that? So I don't have to worry about that piece showing in between. And that will give me a little more room here. I can stretch out the yellow, the daffodil that's behind the vellum circle. It's a little off-centered to the right, but you can use your eye however you would like it to be. Should we pop that up? Yeah, let's do that. Let's pop up just the white and we'll put the vellum down. I'm only putting my adhesive in the middle because it's going to be covered up by that. It's going to be covered up by this label, okay? So now I can stamp. We'll do another thinking of you with our Mossy Meadow ink. Thinking of you. If you have any, oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I don't know that I'm amazing, but I have a lot of fun making amazing projects, right? It's fun to be with you tonight. Thanks for taking part. And I'm thankful for the chances I've had to learn from all kinds of people over the years. I've been a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! For almost 23 years, I think we're coming up. 22, I guess, or something like that. 22, I guess. And have had the privilege of learning from many, many people. There, so these are just really simple because we let the designer series paper do much of the work for us. I'm glad you like these, I do too. The papers are very, very pretty. So if you're interested in any of the supplies to make more cards like this, you can reach out to me. And I do we've claimed one tonight, but I have 4 more of those tins that will benefit Erin's Angels. Keep watch of my Facebook group, Missy's Glad Heart Studio, too. You can like that page to learn more about my adventures and with card making and paper crafting. And again, please consider partnering for some kind of fundraiser. If you have a charity or an organization that you love to support, especially one that's here in Central New York, I would really enjoy connecting with you and partnering with you. And again, a big thank you to Julia and the Baldwinsville Public Library for sponsoring my class each month and allowing people to take part with the complimentary kits. I look forward to when we can be back in the community room, which is such a wonderful space for learning together and gathering. And hopefully within the calendar year, we'll be able to do that. But for now, I'm so grateful for the chance to learn and share together virtually. So thank you for being a part of our Facebook Live tonight. And I'll check over the comments. I'll post in the next couple of days. I'll select a comment, a random comment, randomly select a comment for a prize. And I look forward to being with you again next month for our April class. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.